Hey folks, in this video I'd like to share my experience getting a 360-degree camera fitted as an aftermarket accessory to my Tata Safari 2021. Safari is my first SUV, and given its massive size, I wanted to be careful of those blind spots while driving and parking in a cramped space, and hence I decided to go with a 360-degree camera setup. So let me begin with the setup experience. The setup includes 4 cameras, which when installed and calibrated provides a bird's eye view along with a live feed from the selected camera. The process of getting installed roughly took around half a day, which includes fitting the camera on the grill, rear camera near the stock reverse camera, and for the left and right side by drilling holes in the ORVMs. Let me quickly show you how they actually look like. Yeah, so this is how the front camera after fitting looks like. It's just just below the front grille. You can see that focusing downwards towards the ground. Then this is how the ORVM cameras would be put actually. So they'll probably drill a hole and then fit the cameras in, and this is how it looks like after the fitting. And going towards the reverse parking, you see this is the one, and this is the one which got installed, and this is the stock reverse camera just on the opposite direction to it. So yeah, so this is how the camera, once they get installed, they look like. And apart from that, in addition to this also requires a lot of wiring around the cameras, fitting the custom camera modules which help the entire setup to function correctly. Now I was also kind of at the beginning concerned, before getting this camera installed, that will this anyway impact my car warranty? But upon closely monitoring the entire installation process, it seems the setup does not disturb any factory fitted car electronics or wiring. It's what, as described by the vendor, socket to socket fitting. So let me go back inside the car. Yeah, so the installation will require the technician to open the car infotainment unit, left and right door panels, glove box. So essentially, this entire area, the glove box area, the panel below the glove box area, the entire left and the right door panels, they will be removed so that the wiring for these cameras can be actually fitted, and the connection from the ORVM can be made to the central unit, which is somewhere like down below. It's like fitted inside those panels, right? So it's not all visible. So yeah, the technician will open, but again, the technician here on the accessory shop which I visited did a really good job, and the work was done very neatly. So no complaints. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. And the major part of this entire setup process was actually taken to install the cameras, wiring them together. But the calibration process only took roughly around 20 minutes or so, right? So I think that's what is the sort of experience I had. By the way, one tip, what I'll recommend is in case you plan to get this camera done, installed, so I'll recommend you to thoroughly check your car door functions like the ambient light, other aspects once the installation is complete, just to ensure that there are no loose contacts. So in my case, what really happened was, I think the ambient light for one of the, I think on the left door stopped working because of some loose connection. So it was then immediately fitted back. The technician really was prompt, and he corrected that particular issue. And I think it afterwards I don't see any challenge post that. So it was the fitting was pretty much a neat job done, I would say. Now let's move to the actual user experience part of it. I mean, how I feel using this camera. So let me do this thing. Let me first of all start the vehicle. And let me put that in reverse. Oh, sorry, it was in neutral. Yeah, reverse. Okay, so as you see, the setup integrates very nicely with the car infotainment unit. So from an appearance point of view, you really don't feel that there has been a change or something has been changed. In fact, if in future, if I really need, since it's a socket to socket connection, I can get that socket removed, which kind of connects the 360 camera with the infotainment, and I can revert back to the factory, the stock reverse camera, right? So that's on the setup integration with the infotainment unit. As you can see also, the camera quality definitely is high when compared to the stock camera. I believe it's an HD resolution camera, and to my understanding, it is like much clear as compared to what we get from the stock camera. Now, given Safari is the beast, the bird's eye view, the one that you're seeing on towards the right, towards this one. So the bird's eye view, I think this is really a great help to me when I'm parking in any cramped space, or in fact in my apartment itself, where I had to park between 4 pillars or so. So I feel much more confident, and I think I have a better view of those blind spots because of the bird's eye view. In fact, one trick here is if I make it little wide, you'll clearly see the wall on the left side and the 2 pillars on the right side. In fact, I have another parking which is much more cramped than this and surrounded by 4 pillars completely. So in case I have to park there, I have a really good view of where am I turning, and all those aspects. So it's really a great help, I would say. Now, continuing on the point of this blind spots, the left hand side cameras, the ones which are fitted on the ORVMs, are also very helpful when making a turn while driving. So when you're making a turn, the respective side's camera will get automatically activated and provides, it provides me a view of any small objects on the road, which otherwise would be difficult to spot, right? So for example, let me shift it to parking. And then let me start. So if you see, as of now, I have switched on the right side indicator, and the camera is giving me a view of the right side. And if I make a left turn, the camera will switch. The left side camera will switch, and I can see what's there on the ground, right? And you can do this while you're driving itself, right? So it's pretty helpful in some situations where you have those small stones or some small roadblocks which are otherwise not very much visible. So yeah, I think this is on this side. Moving on to the next one. So the another important feature I like about this is, and again, this is from a safety point of view, is this setup provides this continuous recording feature. So as I drive, feed from all these 4 cameras is getting recorded and saved into this 32 GB pen drive here. So if you can see, it's like inside your glove box, right? And what I can do is right from the infotainment unit itself, I can either play those videos which are getting recorded, or in fact I can detach the pen drive and plug it into my laptop and then play and view those videos there itself. Now again, in case you're trying to compare that with a dash cam setup, I would say there are of course some features which you will not find in the dash cam. For example, some of the dash cams do have this parking monitoring feature. So then what happens is, in case your car is parked, if somebody tries to tamper a vehicle, it will automatically start recording. This feature is not available with this particular setup. So what I mean is, only when when the car ignition is on, when you're running the vehicle, the camera will take the recording, and they will continuously record and put that in your drive. Otherwise, once the ignition is off, the cameras are also off. To me, it's not a big deal because the other reviews I have heard about those dash cams which do this parking monitoring is they eat up a lot of battery of the vehicle, because they keep on recording. So I think from that side, I would say it's a pretty cool it's a cool feature from a safety perspective. And I think the last one I want to show you here is see, this is this small IR remote, and let me just put the glove box. And if you see, there is I'm not sure if you're able to see, there's this small IR sensor here, this one. And with the help of this IR remote and the sensor, I can actually control the view which I want to see. So right now it is like turned on to the the front camera. Let me switch to the reverse one. I can in fact go to the left, or I can in fact go to the right. So so this means that, like, while I'm driving the vehicle, while my vehicle is actually in a steady state, and if I want to view a specific angle, I think those all combinations are possible with the help of this with this camera. In fact, let me switch to the view. I think it displays all the 4 cameras right at once, so you can in fact have this complete 360-degree monitoring itself in case you want, right? And all the other functions are also accessible from this particular remote. So yeah, you need to be careful that you don't lose it, right? Yeah. So I think that's pretty much it from what I really like about this setup. Now let me move to the not so good features. So I would say the areas where I see there are gaps. So on the not so good part, I think one of the key things which you need to understand is or let me start by saying this: it takes a bit of time to get used to this product, just like when you started using the reverse camera for the first time. But just like me, many times you were still looking in your rear view mirror, right, and not using the reverse view. So yeah, it will take a bit of time to get yourself accommodated, especially when you're using this bird's eye view, right? You need to just train your mind to use it. So I think that's just about the learning experience which you will get along after using it for a while. The other important thing which I would highlight is around the responsiveness of the camera. So I feel the responsiveness of the camera feed coming onto the infotainment is not very consistent. So what I really mean is the video feed. Sometimes it comes really fast, like instantly, right? So example, right now the vehicle is running, and if I quickly go to reverse, right? Or if I go to parking, you see it's like very immediate. So once the vehicle starts, I think that's not the problem. But sometimes when you start the vehicle and it's like a sort of a cold boot scenario, then what really happens is it probably sometimes takes around 2 to 3 seconds to show up on your infotainment unit, right? So that can be a little bit sometimes annoying, that why it is not as fast as what you have wanted. But yeah, again, this is not always the case. So, but again, this is something which I haven't observed when I take reverse. It's only happening when when I'm taking a left or a right turn while driving. So sometimes the camera feed appears after a small delay, right? In fact, only when taking the left and right turns, I noticed that like 1 out of 100 times the camera feed will not show up at all. But again, that's very rare, and it doesn't happen all the time, right? So that's one point I would say could be a lagging point in here. The other pain point I see is that the real estate of the video feed is very limited. Now again, this has nothing to do with this particular setup. In all, the real estate for the infotainment unit for Tata Safari 2021 is relatively smaller in comparison to the other vehicles. But given that you have a small real estate for the video feed, and if you see, the camera feed here is divided into 2 portions. One is the directional camera, like the main camera that you are trying to look into. The other is it's the bird's eye view, right? So let me make it wide. So this is the bird's eye view. So if you see, the entire real estate for the camera that you're looking at becomes really cramped, right? So these videos are crammed into each other. So I think that's one of the key things. And the other aspect is you can't do anything about that. Which means that if I want to say increase the size for my bird's view, as of now, the configurations don't really permit me to do that, right? Neither I can do it for the main camera view. So I think that's one of the things which probably I would have wished. Though I can actually swap the bird's eye view with this one, so I can make it towards the left or make it towards the right. But again, the increasing the real estate or the size of the the video on the infotainment unit, I think that's something which is not possible. Yeah, so I think so that's one of the key point, and yeah, I think this is pretty much it. Lastly, if you see, let me go to reverse. Yeah. Lastly, if you've observed the reverse camera guidelines, right? So this camera has its own guidelines. If you see the smaller guideline, and the above ones, they are actually the guidelines from the stock reverse camera. So they are like kind of mingled with each other, and that that definitely is not clean, right? You would have wished that you would have never seen the guidelines from the stock reverse camera. But again, that's unfortunate here. You would have to again make yourself acquainted with seeing these two reverse guidelines there. So I think that's essentially from an appearance point of view, though it's not much of a problem, but again, from an appearance point of view, it doesn't look very, very clean, right? So I think this is what I had in my mind as an experience. I've been using this camera for roughly around 10 days or so. So yeah, I think this is what I had to share with you folks around the experience. But overall, I think I really like this product because few of the reasons. First of all, the camera quality is of an HD quality. It's like much clear in comparison to the stock camera, right? The bird's eye view is especially super useful because in case you're parking in a cramped space or between pillars, or there are blind spots, definitely this is of a much needed help there. And also from a continuous recording perspective, the safety feature, so you keep on recording these videos, so in case in case you have to face any unfortunate incident, you would have a proof with you right there in your vehicle. Yeah, so I think this is pretty much it I had to share on this. In case you are interested to get this for your Safari, please check the video description to get details from where I got it installed. Thank you, and stay safe.